Welcome to the video for chapter 25 on drawing views. There are a lot of different things that you can do with drawing views and SolidWorks drawings. We've talked about previously having your drawing set up with predefined views. That would mean creating a new drawing from a template that already has drawing views established on it. So let's try to find one here that's got some. These drawing views are just shown in dotted lines because there's no model on the drawing to populate the drawing views. These are not blank drawing views, but predefined views, so that this is a front view, top view, right view, and isometric. If I put a model onto here by just clicking and hitting the browse, I can insert any selected model. That could be a part or an assembly. SolidWorks goes ahead and populates all of those predefined drawing views. That's set up with a template. We've talked about that in a previous chapter. Another way to create a drawing from scratch is to use the standard 3 view. Now let's create another drawing and zoom out and get rid of my predefined views. Now we'll say the standard 3 view. Again, SolidWorks is going to ask us to browse for a model, pick the same one as last time, and we get the standard 3 view drawing. If we want to put in an isometric view, there are a couple of different ways to do that. One way is to use a projected view, select on the original view, and then drag the new view off at an angle. That's one way to insert an isometric view. Another way would be to just use the model view. Again, you'd browse for a model, and that's already selected. We'll go to the next on here, and in orientation, we want to select the isometric view. You can have other views such as trimetric or dimetric or other views that you've created, but I'm just going to sit this one down over here. So we've got a second isometric view. This one is independent of any other views. So if we change something about the front view, let's click in it and turn it to shaded with edges. The isometric is linked to the front view as a parent view, and so they all change at the same time. Meanwhile, the one we put in as a model view is independent and just remain in the original view style. Projected view we've already talked about a little bit, but we can show some more things here. The projected view will project any isometric in any direction and any orthogonal view along with that. Okay, so that's the projected view. The auxiliary view is a little bit different. The auxiliary view is projected from an angled edge. So for this one, we've got to create a new sheet. And we'll insert a new model. And for this one, I'm going to use this part because we've got an angled edge on there. And I think I want to use a different view. So let's put this view down. I selected this view because it has an angled edge. Now I can use the auxiliary view to project a new view from the angled edge. And if I want to break the lock of the projected view or the auxiliary view, I can hit the Control key on the keyboard and just move it away and then put it down somewhere else. So that's the auxiliary view. The relative view is a little bit different. This allows us, if you have a very complex part or a part where it's not really clear where the top and bottom are, this can help you out a lot with that. When you hit the relative view, it'll bring up a property manager and the model window of the model that's active. The first orientation that you've got to select is you got to tell it where the front is. And so this will be independent from the first 3 planes in your feature manager. This is just you telling it where the front is. So I'm going to say that this is the front. And the second orientation I'm going to say the right-hand side is over here. And from those two, SolidWorks will know which direction is up, basically, and how to place this on the drawing. So that is the relative view. And now to create a section view, we'll just click on the section view button, and depending on which view we bring this over, SolidWorks is going to activate that view and enable the section line capability. So once I've placed it in the view and in the area where I want it, I'll tell SolidWorks just what kind of section I want. In this case, we got just a straight section, which is good for me. And you can exclude certain things from being sectioned, like rib features. It just so happens that I'm sectioning a part with ribs, and so we can take a look at this and select the ribs that we don't want to section. Okay, and then we'll say okay. And then again, if we want to break the alignment with this, we hold down the Control key and place this somewhere else. In reality, you probably wouldn't have a drawing that's this busy. You might have additional sheets, and your section or projection line wouldn't be this long. You'd have this shortened and maybe pulled out away from the model a little bit, just to make it a little more neatly organized and compact. Other types of views are the detail view, and again we'll just click on that. SolidWorks wants to see us draw a circle, so we'll draw a circle, and in the property manager we'll be able to establish a scale. Scale here is 1 to 2. You can change that if you want to, obviously, and we'll place that here. A broken out section allows you to take an existing view and modify it. This does not create a new view. So I'll click on the broken out section, and notice that SolidWorks is giving me the ability to draw a spline. So I'm just going to draw kind of an S-shaped spline here, just to give us the look of a broken out section, and we'll select something to indicate the depth. Now we can do that in another view, or we can do it in the original view. So I'll select that edge in the back that's telling SolidWorks to cut up to there, and we say okay, and that breaks out the section back to that back wall. Another type of view that you can create is a broken or a break view, and this is typically meant for a long part, but we can create it here on this part. It's asking us to select the view that we want to break. I'll pick in here, and then it asks us to place the break lines, and that's done. Like I said, this is typically done on a long, skinny part. Might be better on this lower view, but you can put multiple breaks in a view, and you can change the break line style, you can change the gap size, and you can change the cut direction. So if we wanted to make that cut go top to bottom, you could also break the part that way. Crop view is very similar to a detail view, but it will take it just edits the existing view. It doesn't create a new view. So in this case, maybe we want to just show the area around this slot. So we'll zoom into the view where we want to make the crop, create a closed sketch profile, click on the crop view, and SolidWorks crops that view with that particular sketch. So you see that this didn't create a new view, it just edited the existing view. And that's one of the important things to understand here, is that some of these functions will edit a view and some will create a new view. The alternate position view is for assemblies, where you can show the assembly in two different positions, and that's going to require a configuration for the second position. When you set up an assembly to do this, you've got to make sure that the configurations used for the two alternate positions are not going to change. So this was just a quick overview of some of the view types that SolidWorks allows you to create on drawings. There's a lot more detail in the book, and I encourage you to go through that. Have a good time with Chapter 25, and I'll see you in the next chapter.